Welcome y'all to another episode of the Presidential Executive. What's going on? It's your boy right here, JB. There's my brother over here, El Presidente Rag. What's going on, my guy?
Man, not too much, man. Taking this good Ozempic.
Said
You know what
Zempic.
I'm
Man said the Zempic.
No, I ain't taking Ozempic.
No Zempic.
Nah,
You
man,
don't need to be taking
bro.
that now. You don't need to be taking that. Y'all, before we do anything, y'all go ahead and like this video right now. We're wherever that you stream podcasts, man. We're on all streaming platforms that you do podcasts. Go ahead and do that right now. You go ahead and do it.
Okay, we on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
What we got?
Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and Stitcher.
Stitcher. There we
You
go.
supposed to say
There
at the
we go.
same time, man.
I know, man. I'm over here, MCing over here, so I'm just kind of, switching out. But yeah, man. On that last live we had, a double entendre. Almost we had a double the guests.
Yeah.
So it went longer and still had way more to say.
Right.
And actually, I said more on my socials after the whole thing because it's some certain stuff I didn't get off. But we go.
Man. Actually, though, man, that was shout out. First of all, shout out to Sir, Grant, and Larry Cashmere.
Yeah.
And again, y'all check their podcast out. It's Cashmere's podcast.
It's
right?
Cashmere, yeah. Him and
they changed the name, right?
Him and Mikey.
Where you at, Mikey?
Tell him, man.
We invited you, Mikey.
Loafing.
You loafing, Mikey, but it's called. They changed the name of this the Amen Say Man podcast.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was initially called the MCM podcast, but now it's the Amen Say Man podcast. So y'all check that out. But like you said, we didn't get a lot off of it, but I'm looking. Just between the main live stream that we did and then the two chopped up, clips that you put up, like that's totaling like 1,000 views. Mm-hmm. And again, for those of y'all that watch people to get tens of thousands of views, I mean, look, man, we in the backyard. We're literally in JB's man cave. This is not a production studio. And if y'all saw what this man did with everything that, we got, like, y'all would be amazed. But we straight out the corner, you know what I'm saying, and we still making noise in the city. And again, shout out to our boys. But you showed me the one you just had on your page.
Yeah.
And I wasn't aware.
Yeah. It was the reel's been going wild. We had a 30K, 10K, couple, few 4 or 5K. So, like I said, the reel's been going good, and really getting on our boy, Sir, a little bit, you know what I mean. Which, like I said, I was poking fun at him. In our chat or whatnot, but we reiterated kind of. Well, I reiterated to him like kind of, what was kind of gonna happen,
right?
For some of those, kind of statements. Yeah.
And let me say this because I noticed this and I was reading the comments. If y'all are going to watch a reel, like one thing I like about when you post your stuff, you will actually put the whole. Because the first thing I saw when I clicked on the comments, the first comment up was you posted the actual whole episode.
Yeah, that's why I try to do it every time with that.
I've noticed that not just on that one, you do it on all of them. Mm-hmm. If y'all are going to comment, you know what I'm saying? Like, do yourself a service. Don't do us a disservice. Don't do yourself a disservice and just watch a 30-second clip or a minute clip. And think that you got the full, and we talk about context mattering. Because some of y'all, I could tell by your comments, and we appreciate the comments, but you did not watch the episode, or you didn't listen to the episode.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you listen to what you want to, you watch what you want to. You can break it up and make time for it when you get time, but do yourself a favor because you would not want somebody to judge you or to write a comment about something that you did when you was 15, and they don't know your whole life story. You know what I'm saying? Or something you did at work one day when you was having a bad day. Like, do yourself a favor, watch the whole thing, like, share, and subscribe, but then comment, and then give us a good comment based upon that information.
Right. Because I'll talk to some few people. Like, look, man, at the end of the day, I know I'm learning how this whole social space and stuff goes, and people get on stuff when other people start getting on stuff. When other people start watching, then they start watching. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's kind of what it is. But if you want actual context of it, I would advise you to look at the whole thing. The clips are what they are. Honestly, they're there to trigger you. They're there to, if you hear him say something, you know what I'm saying, it sounds blasphemous at
Right.
you know what I'm saying, out of 20, 30 seconds. It probably is, you know what I'm saying? It may be
Yeah.
like that, but you won't know that until you watch the whole thing, or at least 50, a good 15, 20, 30 minutes of it to really get the full context of it, man. But
And if you say like the one video we had, oh, I just couldn't watch it. Okay, well then don't comment.
yeah,
Because you didn't get the full context.
yeah,
You only saw 30 seconds of something, and then you think that's like watching a movie and you only see one scene and be like, oh, this movie's some boo-boo because all it is a scene of them sitting at the dinner table.
yeah. And we got a lot of that, especially with Jay Sanders on his
Or
joint.
even Rayma.
Yeah.
When Misty
Rayma,
was on
yeah,
here, they
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
watch the whole thing.
Yep, yep. So especially those where it takes some meat of it, and saying you need to really just watch the whole thing, man. But to start off here, if you look at the thumbnail, it said Battle Overload, which they can't even see that. I just got that up there. Does it kind of turn off the TV?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's a Battle Overload, man. It's a lot of stuff going on from the Kendrick and Drake stuff. It's not really a spinoff, but it's kind of like everybody feeling that kind of energy or something. You know what I mean? I guess. Now, I want to know your thoughts just on because the battle pretty much over with Kendrick and Drake now. So
And Not Like Us it was charted as number
one. It's number one.
And Meet the Grams was like number 3 or number
Yeah,
6 or something like that.
he had two top fives. He had two top fives.
Okay, so it was number 3 then.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the aftermath of this whole thing?
Well,
Drake and
Rolling
Kendrick.
Stone, we talked about this the other day on the phone. Rolling Stone had put out an article saying that Kendrick wanted everybody like, oh, we don't mess with Rolling Stone, but we do when somebody gets nominated or put into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
We do.
That's like the most prestigious Hall of Fame.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they're echoing what we have said from the beginning.
Yeah.
I think that Drake needs to stick to doing Drake and stop trying to fall into the peer pressure. And I don't even think it's peer pressure because even before people was clamoring for responses, he's been taking shots for the last 10 years.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
So I don't think, like I said, I don't believe in peer pressure. I believe it's just stuff we want to do and people put the battery in our backs. But you just need to stick to making the music, that the girls like. You know what I'm saying? Play your light skin card while you got it. Because contrary to popular belief, light skin ain't never been out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Morris Chestnut made niggas think that dark skin was in him and Wesley Snipes. And no, light skin has never been out.
Yeah, it ain't.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and we can go down the list of that. Matter of fact, that's another episode for another day.
Yeah.
But we gonna make out our list, and I guarantee you, these niggas ain't never been out.
Nah.
Okay, but stick to doing that. And once again, Kendrick has proved, and it's really even making people question, okay, we were saying Drake is the better artist, but I was listening to something, and they was like, the reason the Grammy committee, when they give out Grammys, is not based off of album sales or popularity.
Artistry.
They're actually looking at the art of it.
Yeah.
So when we're saying this,
yeah.
technically you get Grammys based off of your art.
Yeah. Which makes sense now when you look at why Killer Mike won his Grammy. Some people will say, I think Drake was actually upset that he won the Grammy. But that was one of the best albums last year, Killer Mike. I think it was called Michael.
Yeah, it was grown.
It was great. It was a great album. It was a great album.
Matter of fact, you remember, was it last year or the year before when we were talking about, was it Freddie Gibbs, Nas, and Royce the 5'9", they were all nominated, and Nas ended up winning the Grammy. But we were talking about how, like Royce's album, like artistically, like that was his best.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the way he kind of painted the picture of his whole life and put it out there, but he still, you know what I'm saying? And like, again, with Nas as well as Freddie Gibbs, the reason why those were nominated is because the artistry of those albums, the way they structured them, the songs, the content. And so again,
that makes sense because it was the same. I don't know what it was the same podcast that you listened to, but I heard the same thing. It's more so about the artistry that it made me actually kind of go back and look at who won rap album of the year. I remember Macklemore won it one year, and so
over Kendrick.
I think it was over Kendrick, wasn't it? And I probably still wouldn't agree with that, but it brings something more to light that they're looking at. And Macklemore, like I said, you can say what you want about him. It was a kind of conscious album to a degree. He had a couple party songs on it, and it was like you would see like he had some artistry on there, a picture he was trying to paint, and he did that. So to your point, Kendrick, I told you, I don't think he won a round. You know what I mean? That's just me. You know what I mean?
You said you don't think Drake won a round?
I don't think Drake won a round. You know what I mean? And so, conservatively, I would give him one. If you wanted to say Family Matters was one of those ones that gave him that. But to me, you can't even do that because if you put it when it came out, how it was in your reaction, he didn't even win Family Matters just because of when Meet the Grams came out and what it said. Like so, but if you want to just say an anomaly from an anomaly, like if you hear Family Matters 6 months from now, and then you hear Meet the Grams, Family Matters would be a bop in the club, and then Meet the Grams would be something that you would have to know the storyline of what happened to be like, da 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 da. But looking at it from the timeline for when it came out, from first person shooter to Like That, Clear Like That, then Push Ups to Euphoria, Taylor made the AI disc in 616 Clear, because I thought the AI stuff was whack, was corny anyway. And so then you got Family Matters to Meet the Grams. That was a new Meet the Grams 1, then Heart Part 6, and Not Like Us. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like when you break it down to see it, like I don't see he won a round, but if somebody want to give him one just because, go right ahead.
I say for the sake of argument, it was a gentleman's sweep.
I take that.
The playoffs, it was 4-1. Like you might have got a game in, but like you clearly and even the game that if you want to give you the game, and like I said, when I initially made my statement, I was making it in the moment, but like going back and looking at it,
just
like
looking at it,
we're going based off of that.
Yeah.
You know, because I was just looking at it like when Family Matters came out, I'm like, oh, okay, you got
He got one,
right? But like if I'm comparing them,
and if you putting the board up,
joint for joint or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's like okay,
it's like Diddy.
When you put it that way, like if you're gonna give him one, like it's like 0.3 seconds and you tap that joint in, like it ain't like you clearly beat him. You know what I'm saying? And I was looking at one of the we actually talked about somebody who commented on your post, and they were talking about when you're battling, is not always based upon 100% facts. It's based upon how you say stuff, your wit, your delivery, the punchline, like the points that you're making, like how you're moving the crowd, and it like so. Even when you're looking at it like that, but like I said last week, a 95 is still an A. So like even if okay, cool, he don't have a daughter. You know, maybe. But even on that, Academics came out and said
don't even matter.
Yeah, no, Academics said that Drake was just saying that he fed him information to save face.
Yeah.
And you know, Academics is like a Drake stan. And he said, no, he don't, you know,
I saw that.
From what he know, Drake was just saying that to save face. So even his, Kendrick, what you saying is made up ain't 100% true. It's like he's just saying that so people ain't looking at him in a negative light. But man, like when you look at it in that capacity, you know, it's clear cut.
It's like even if we were talking on the phone, even if you go lie for lie and just assume that both of them are lying, you know what I'm saying? If you want to go there, like you would just like his stuff is way more believable. We're just going through this whole Diddy stuff, the whole Bishop Jakes stuff and all, you know what I mean?
Have you ever been swallowed?
You know what I mean? Like, and so a big superstar like Drake being a pedophile or molesting young people is not far-fetched to do. And plus we have evidence.
You pointed that out.
Yeah.
Last week.
Plus, we have evidence of Drake being on stage with a 17-year-old, and what you have,
Millie Bobby, the girl from she plays as 11 on Stranger Things.
Okay, yeah, and you brought her up, and so we have actual examples of this. You know what I'm saying? And so, in Kendrick not being in the spotlight so much, it's like you ain't got no proof. You just pretty much going off of what I'm saying, what the blogs say or what some rumors say or something like that. So even if you go lie for lie, Kendrick had the best lies. You know what I'm saying? And actually, Big Daddy Kane on a podcast, he said something about that's hip hop. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, even if I say something, like even if you don't live in a roach infested apartment or something like that, but I make it sound cool in a rhyme, like I won because I made the people laugh, I made the girls laugh, I made, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like it's part of the art, and I know you can speak more into that. Like it don't have to when you balance, all of it don't have to be actual facts. You know what I'm saying? Some of it can be weaved in there, but even if you go lie for lie, Drake got mopped.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He got mopped for it. If he
and going back to how you said the stuff is being documented, like all I'm gonna say is like one of our icons, Michael Jackson, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Was known for having a lot of little kids around. Regardless of what did or didn't happen, let's just say for the sake of argument, he's 100% innocent. Not a good look. R. Kelly used to keep a lot of kids around. Definitely, I mean, but we know for a fact that his stuff happened.
Yeah,
definitely. Who else? P. Diddy. Now the whole thing with him and the like that's his daughter or whatever, his white daughter, or whatever. Not a good look. And so now here you go. Oh, what's the white comedian, film director, Woody Allen?
Woody Allen.
You know what I'm saying? He's infamous for, you know, marrying his stepdaughter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and the speculation was that he was grooming her when she was a teenager. You know what I'm saying? The guy who won the Oscar, Roman Polanski, he can't even come back to America. He had to accept his Oscar overseas because if he comes over to America, they are going to arrest him. Because he is a known pedophile.
Yeah.
So now you got all these other examples, but we're just friends. You were 30, she was 13. It's no world that it now. If at the time, I'm not even gonna lie, and this probably gonna be unpopular, but if you're 20 and somebody's 17, realistically, it's people you went to high school with that when you was a senior, you knew them when they was freshmen. You still know them now. But when you came back in town, you would see them working at the Burger King or somewhere, and that's your homie or that's your little homegirl or whatever. Y'all was cool because y'all was in high school together. It's no world that exists where he knew her from high school or he knew her from the job. It is no reason for you outside of me seeing you at the Oscar parties. It's no reason for me to be communicating, and I'm 30 years old.
Yeah.
And that child really is damn near, I'm old enough to be your daddy.
Yeah. Yeah, literally.
You know what I'm saying? I'm almost old enough
16,
to be,
17,
because the generation is 15 years, right?
Yeah.
So add 15 to 13. That's 28.
28.
So that means 17 years. He's old enough to be her dad. And so it's no oh man, that's different. It's ours. No, it's not different.
Let me say this. Now, the thing too, which I thought Drake had a lot of missteps, is that may have been cool what you saying in white culture. It's like in some white, you know, 'cause some white people, certain things are more cool in that community that we wouldn't necessarily do ourselves. You know what I'm saying? I've seen like other, like I don't know if it is in white communities or not. I'm just saying it could be. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But I just saying I know certain. We talked about white comedy and black comedy kind of being different and stuff like that. And so certain stuff like that may be cool for a 30-year-old to talk to a 13-year-old in some white communities or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or in the upper echelon Hollywood community or something. But for black folks, for us, like I think I saw you made a comment to do like, would you put your 30-year-old, you know what I'm saying, you 30-year-old and you got a 13-year-old, would you care if your 13-year-old talking to this 30-year-old person? And you know what I'm saying, he would, you know.
No, you know that's Hawk's little brother.
No, I ain't know that.
Yeah, no, that was Hawkins' little brother.
That's Hawk's little brother. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So like, so I know we know each other.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, and so I know all your nieces. I know your little sisters. Like I know you say that, but if I was calling your little sisters every day, like that wouldn't be cool.
And that wouldn't fly in our community.
You know what I'm saying, right?
But saying like, and that's another thing because I think Drake in a lot of instances as well. Because I don't want to harp on too much because we just kind of piggyback on kind of what we maybe didn't say when Grant and Cashmere was here, but some of the stuff that even Drake was saying was kind of, it's like he's not dialed into the community as much as you would, what I'm saying, as you would want him to be. I think he should be, especially hanging out here in Memphis, hanging out with who he hanging out with. His dad being who he is. His dad is a real OG here in Memphis, is very respected, is that guy. So yeah. But yeah, you got anything else to add on rest of
Man,
us on that?
not to that
Okay.
one. What
Okay.
we got, man? What else we got?
All right, and so now the other beefs kind of coming. We can kind of go to. Want to go to Shannon and Shaq? Shannon. Oh no. Hold on.
Yeah,
Before,
no,
you want to do
yeah.
that? You want
I
to
mean, we can. Well,
Okay.
if you want to stick to the rapping, we can.
Yeah, I
talk
wanted to
about,
get because
what's the
Game
name?
and Ross ain't gonna be long at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The Game is actually kind of in a beef of going back and forth with Ross. I just was hip on this maybe a couple days ago. I thought it was maybe a rumor or a blog. You know what I mean? I didn't know it was actually a thing. And then I heard he came out with a diss record. This is what I think about it. I think that Game, we know he's obviously cool with Drake. You know what I mean? I think a couple things too. I want to bring back up the whole with Drake thing. I'm not even sure the stuff that's happening over at his house, the people getting shot and stuff like that. There was another incident. I don't know if you heard, like maybe a day or two ago. And so I don't know. It could just be a coincidence. It just seemed a lot of this stuff is deflection
Right.
from him getting humiliated.
Squashed.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I think Game is maybe part of that deflection is to be like, look, man, he felt so bad that his homie Kendrick mopped the floor with him. He like, man, let me go. Let me divert some attention. Let me go at Ross. You know what I'm saying? He's a bigger name. I can, do that and kind of see how that goes. And the diss was straight. I don't know if you heard the diss, but the diss was
Yeah, no, I listened to it.
he can rap. We know Game can rap. So he had some bars, had some lines in there, but to me it just seemed like it's too soon.
I mean,
That I can't
it's
really
just,
get into it.
It's if it was just another song, it would be okay. The fact that, like, number one, y'all didn't have no beef prior to this, so it's like you
Not that
reaching
I
for
know
something.
of. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so because we're not invested in it, because it's not like something that happened, and so now we're waiting to see what the response is going to be like. Nobody really cares. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he just made a regular song, like, I mess with the Game, like, hey, let me see what he's talking about. But, like, this, I mean, because even, I love Ross Champagne Moments, right? I love that song.
Yeah.
Like I said, that was one of his best songs ever.
It was hard.
But
It was hard.
again, because it's in the midst of this situation, it kind of made a bubble, but then nobody cared. So, I mean, like, I just, like, man, let them have their moment. They had their moment. And let's get back to making some dope music.
Yeah. I pretty much skimmed through that, man. I'm not really kind of interested in Ross and Game. And honestly, I thought Game retired or something. Maybe not. I thought he said he retired or something like
No,
that.
because he put out an album, not too long ago.
Okay.
But for the most part, now he just kind of dropping when he feel like dropping, and ain't no label pressure, nothing like that.
Yeah, I thought he retired, but skim through that. Now the next one here is our boy Shannon. Well, really your boy Shannon. That's my guy too. But you really cap for him. Cape for him real good.
No, I mean,
what I'm saying?
and when he talked about LeBron being the GOAT, like I vehemently disagree with him on that.
You do on that. And that's maybe it though. That may be it.
No, it's a lot of stuff that when he made the because he kind of took what Russell Wilson said out of context. When Russell Wilson
Talking about the
was
black
talking about the black
quarterback?
quarterbacks, and,
Okay.
and the whole statement was he named some of the other ones, and he said they opened the door for people like me, and so now I have to open the door. I'm in a position to open the door. That was the full context. He's not saying I'm the trailblazer. He said no, in the same vein as a Warren Moon and a Steve McNair and Doug Williams. Like, he actually named these people. They opened the doors for guys like me, and now I'm in a position to open the door because the difference that he had, I mean, and again, I don't want to get too far into that, but like the difference that he had, he wasn't just a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He was also one of the top quarterbacks. Yeah. Whereas like Warren Moon, one of the top, never had a Super Bowl. Doug Williams won the Super Bowl, wasn't one of the top quarterbacks of all time. Like Russell Wilson in his generation is top 5 in his generation.
I think we know what some of that was about. I think he just don't like Russ.
Right, exactly.
He just don't like Russ.
When Unc is wrong or he's off, I'm gonna get on Unc.
Yeah. He didn't like this.
In this situation, go ahead and say what the beef is about.
Now the beef, you can correct me if I'm wrong. The beef started when Jokic won the MVP. Mm-hmm. It was on TNT, and actually it was right before Game 2, maybe, or Game 3 of the Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves game, and they was about to present him with the MVP award. And Shaq right before Jokic came on to talk to them was basically like, look, he didn't agree with it. He thought that SGA should have won it. You know, SGA deserved it, which I'll say this now. I thought SGA deserved it. You know what I mean? I thought he should have won it, right? Mm-hmm. But that's pretty much where it started. And I did think Shaq was hating, though. Mm-hmm. I did think Shaq was hating just for the simple fact of you know, let you can feel how you want to feel, but let the man have his moment. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you on live TV with the dude. And so it sounded like some hating going on when Shaq actually told Jokic. He said it to a face right when he got onto the screen. When they presented him as an MVP, they like, you know, I want you to hear here first. You know, I thought SGA deserved it. You know, I didn't think you should have won it. Da 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 da. And Jokic took it like a champ. He didn't say nothing. He actually laughed about it.
Yeah, he said, you're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah. Did he say that? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So he took it like a champ. So, and then I guess after that segment, then the nightcap was maybe an hour or two later. And Shannon pretty much, for me, when I saw it, I didn't see no malice coming toward him. He actually set it up pretty nicely, you know, complimenting Shaq and saying who he was. And then basically was just like, yeah, I think it was probably a little jealousy kind of in that undertone of what he was talking about. And so that's why I was like, I'm like, dang, it started from that because I didn't think Shannon was like going in like you said, like going in on Russ because we just know he don't like Russ. Mm-hmm. He gave Shaq his props and saying like da this, and so next day I know Shaq is made a Instagram post or Twitter X post or whatever, and just really kind of getting on him, just talking about how he's not G14 classified, how you're not in the top 10 of your profession and this and that. But we know, we've talked about it like on this show, like when people start shooting at you back like that from a response that Shannon said there really wasn't even, had no malice to it, it's kind of like when hit dogs holler. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
You see what I'm saying? And so, and also with Shaq too, I want to say this out. It's hard to tell when he playing or when he kind of serious. You know, so some I'm thinking like, is this kind of a setup? They trying to do something together and put him now he gonna be on Shannon's podcast,
right?
You know what I'm saying? To make the go to views up or something like that. But just looking at it just from what it is, it looked like just Shaq just kind of hating on Shannon, and then he made a diss song. Did he make a diss song? Shaq made a diss song.
Yeah, he made a diss song.
Yeah, now B. Howard hit me up with this. He hit me with a text. He was like, man, you know Shaq diss Shannon, and I listened to it. You know, like I said, it's hard for me to take Shaq seriously sometimes because he do be acting a fool. And all them years he was talking about getting on Kobe and they were about to fight and stuff like that. Years later, now he said, man, I was just playing with him. You know, I was just trying to get the most out of him. We were just playing. We wasn't no serious, like stuff like that. So that's why it's hard to take Shaq serious sometimes. But I think that Shaq was hating on Jokic, and that he can have his opinion, but I think he did feel a certain type of way just because it was a couple of times he felt slighted in the conversation, especially with Steve Nash. I think in 2005 when he lost to him, and you know how that history went. But yeah, I think if it's real, you know, and then I think Shaq also said something about how I know what you did to get where you're at. You know, talking to Shannon and stuff, you know, stuff like that. And to Shannon's credit, he hadn't
bid on that.
Yeah, he didn't retaliate. You know what I'm saying? And plus, you know, Shaq is still, 7'2", 350, 360. So the energy that Shannon will have for other people, I think is lessened because, you know, he ain't I don't think he want to ruffle feathers with Shaq at this point.
Well, I say on that part, when you get,
yeah.
Michael Jai White said it best. He said, like, when you deal with the heavyweights and stuff like that, it ain't really a big difference between, you know, 225 and 240.
Yeah.
It's because when you're that big and your body is used to carrying it, like somebody hit you 225, you might be 240, but like you feeling that. So like, Unc work out every day in real life.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? Like he's still a beast in real life.
Yeah, he should.
Shaq is in shape. The way Miles was saying, he's round. You know what I'm saying? He is in shape.
Yeah.
But
That's another
I
level.
didn't take umbrage with what Unc said because the late great Kobe Bryant also said his issue with Shaq was the same thing that Shannon said.
Yep.
And Shaq has even, and Unc pointed this out, Shaq himself had said they be in practice, he's eating cheeseburgers and
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, don't worry about it. When I get in the game, it's going to be 28-10.
Right.
It's gonna be
Playoffs.
28-10.
Yeah.
Like, so,
Yep.
he's known for saying that. Also, this G14 classification, I just had to make sure that doesn't exist in real life. That actually came from the movie Rush Hour. If you remember when Chris Tucker was, you know what I'm saying, talking about his classification, he made it up on his, oh, I got a G14 classification. Like,
That's right.
That's where that came from.
I didn't even think about that.
That's not a real thing.
Yeah.
That's not a real thing. I want to say even the classifications only go up to a certain number. There is no G14.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're basically saying that you have something that doesn't exist. Now, maybe if you're trying to, spin a metaphor, cool. But in reality, what you're saying, you have something that means nothing, essentially.
Pretty much.
So,
yep.
if you want to talk basketball to football or football to basketball, then no. None of these analysts or sportcasters should be able to say anything about anything. But, let's keep it a buck. He said Unc was ranked number 51 on the NFL's top 100
That was the top
list.
100, right?
Okay, first of all, you got to remember, it's way more NFL players than it's been NBA players.
Mm-hmm.
Because NBA roster,
Yes.
it just went up to 15 men.
Yeah.
Like when we were growing up watching it, it was only a 12-man roster.
Mm-hmm.
And then you might have had, you know what I'm saying, an injury reserve spot or whatever. Now it's 15 and you get the injury reserve spots.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, to be ranked number 51? But,
That's great.
let's break it down per your position.
Mm-hmm.
Shaq arguably should be top 3 centers of all time. But most people who've been watching basketball for at least 30 years are not going to put him over Wilt and Kareem.
Yeah.
It's just not, because you don't have more championship or MVPs than Kareem, and then for your career, your numbers aren't as impressive as Wilt.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole myth, just like the J.J. Redick myth about Jordan's era being watered down, you go back and look, because I watched the video, and they actually listed all of the centers that Wilt played versus when they said he wasn't guarding nobody. Bill Russell was actually one of the shortest ones that guarded him. On any given night, he was guarding people that was at least 6'10", 6'11". In one team, they played versus they center and they power forward with both 7 feet.
Mm.
And then, because at the time it was only 16 teams. Of the 16 teams that they were in the loop of playing, just about all the centers that guarded Wilt are in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
So now he wasn't playing trash. We might have considered it trash, but we didn't watch it. It was a different era.
Way different.
And then those centers, it wasn't like, okay, well, Wilt they was slaw. Like, no, them folks got good numbers too. They just look regular versus Wilt. So now, again, they're not going to put Shaq over them two. And then some people don't even put him over Hakeem. But now when you go tight ends,
yeah.
The only reason that they put Gronk and Kelsey over Shannon is because of their numbers. Mm-hmm. Their numbers ain't all that much better than Shannon's, and he did not play in a passing era.
Right. Yeah, so you got to do the errors. Yeah.
They had a 2,000-yard rusher in Terrell Davis, then the backup guy, he ran for almost 1,000.
Yeah.
And then the year TD got hurt, dude ran for almost I know it was close to 1,500 yards or something like that. So he wasn't no trash either.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to remember, he had Rod Smith, he had McCaffrey. It was other people who was also catching passes. He was a pass-catching tight end at a time where tight ends didn't catch passes.
Yeah.
And he got 10,000 receiving yards and almost 1,000 catches. And he wasn't even getting thrown the ball like that.
Mm-hmm.
So now put him in this era if we're going to do the coulda, woulda, shouldas.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just stick to what is. He retired as the best tight end.
He did, yep.
Period. You retired as at least the second best center. Because nobody's still going to put you over Kareem. But like I said, depending on who's making the list, he may be 3 or 4 depending on who's making the list.
Yeah.
Shannon retired as number 1. And the only reason they put Tony Gonzalez and Gates over him is because of numbers. Not because of accolades, not because of championships, not because of ability.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
For me, I would put, no, just kind of going off the subject a little bit. Shaq would be 3 or 4 on my list of centers. You know what I mean? I don't even have him in my all-time top 10, Shaq. But he's there. Like, I get he's the most dominant, but I would put Hakeem ahead of Shaq just because Hakeem was the first and the second on that team for Houston. You know what I mean? And Shaq, he needed kind of a Michael Jordan figure to kind of, you know what I'm saying, get out. Even though he was dominant, don't get me wrong, but I would put Kareem, I would put Hakeem, and then I would probably put Wilt ahead of Shaq. You know, given because I think Shaq got 4 rings, Wilt got 3, but he got all the type of records and dominating and MVPs and stuff like that. So I just wanted to put that out there. I wouldn't even put him in my top 2 centers of all time.
I mean, but even again, most dominant. But like again, to your
Definitely
point about
was.
Hakeem, when you look at the whole game, he legit affected both sides of the floor.
Yeah, yeah.
Like not just blocking shots, but also steals.
Steals too.
Like the rebounding numbers.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like then the scoring, the passing. Like now again, Shaq was an amazing passer.
He was.
Shaq was actually more skilled than people give him credit for, but I think that to his detriment because he was like, I can do what I want when I want.
Yeah.
He didn't maximize, and Shannon even complimented him.
He did. He really did.
And he said if he would have worked like I worked, he would have had 45.
Yeah.
Like, but Kobe said if Shaq would have had my work ethic or even close to it, we would have won 10 championships overall.
Easy. Like, yeah. That was about to win 4 in a row. With him being like he was being. You know what I mean? So, I'm with you. Now, so you with me. So you think that Shannon was, what you think of the whole beat? You think Shaq is for real? Think he playing? You think it's kind of legit?
Like,
because that's hard for me to tell.
I just feel like Shaq is better than that. Shaq is reacting the same way when he used to say, oh, you know, when I would clown people like JaVale McGee because I wanted to bring something out of JaVale. I wanted him to do better. He's being too sensitive. Okay, well, Shaq, what are you doing? Because it wasn't a diss, but it's like you diss this man while he's winning an award. And the reality is, though, you should have had more. Now, granted, we can sit up here and say Steve Nash shouldn't have won and da-da-da-da, this, that, and the third. But, again, if you are really on that level of, you know what, I'm finna go out here I'm finna make it a point. I'm kicking ass every day.
Yeah.
You know, like even making the free throws. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
I'll make them when I want to make
right, exactly. And that's your
yeah.
You know, and here you got a guy that in every facet, like maybe defense, you gonna knock Jokic, but rebounding, passing, scoring, shooting percentage, free throw percentage, win percentage.
Shooting percentage, bro. He shot. Jokic saw 64% from the field last year. I don't know what he shot this year. Maybe it's like 57, 58%. But and all this stuff is Shaq's fault anyway. Because to your point, what you were saying, his thing was always. Even Phil Jackson said in his book, Shaq, his deal was to have the regular season to get ready for the playoffs. So he would come in out of shape in preseason, in the, you know what I'm saying, the camp and all that stuff. And so by the time playoffs came around, Shaq was ready. You know what I mean? So he, to a lot of players, he never really took the regular season as serious. Which to his
So you said,
point,
hold on, what did you say Jokic's field goal percentage was?
This year, I think he was around probably about 56, 57%. Last year, which I thought he should have won MVP last year, he was like 63, 64% last year. And then I think he shot like 38% from the three, like 82% from the free throw line. And I think he pretty much averaged a triple-double last year. I think it was 9.9 assists, something like that, which was right there at it. You know what I mean? And so I'm glad you brought that up. I'll just say my point about the SGA thing. I did think SGA deserved it more, but I think how they do now with the NBA is that people, they delay a year when you actually should have won an actual award. So I'm thinking they giving Jokic the award this year, because he probably should have won it last year, given all that stuff. SGA, if he has a great year next year and somebody else come out the woodworks that probably should deserve it, they're probably going to give it to SGA next year just because he probably should have won it this year. You know what I mean? So they kind of skip and do stuff like that, I think, with the NBA awards. And they didn't want to give him 3 in a row like Larry Bird had. So they probably want to keep that legacy with Larry Bird. But he has 3 total right now, 3 out of 4.
So I was just looking, like, Shaq's highest field goal percentage came 2010-11 when he played with Boston, which he didn't play the whole season.
What was that?
66%. But again,
you talking about Boston, like later in his career?
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's what I'm saying. He wasn't playing the whole game. He didn't play the whole season.
Yeah.
Wasn't playing the whole game. Prior to that, he did have 2 seasons where he averaged 60% from the field.
Yeah.
But for the most part, he stayed around about 58%.
58-ish, yeah.
So now when you have in the prime of your career, like he never got over 60 in the prime of his career.
Nah.
Like none of the Orlando years, none of the Lakers years, he never got to 60%. He didn't get to 60% until he went to Miami.
With D.
You see what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. So, like, again, you're more than 10 years in the league. This dude already has had seasons where he shot over 60% from the field. And he shoots way more jump shots.
Way more. Yeah.
Than Shaq as well.
Yeah.
And again, for his career, Shaq is around about 24 points, 11 rebounds, around about 57% true shooting.
He should have more rebounds than that, though.
I'm saying for his career.
Yeah, for his career, I'm like,
11 rebounded. So now
that's cool, though. That's cool, but he should have like 13, 14 average rebounds. You would think, just how big and dominant he was.
So, and I'm trying to see. Hold on, because I don't want to be wrong.
What you looking up? Jokic numbers?
His career, right now.
Oh, Jokic. Oh, okay. Jokic probably not averaging 20 in his career.
Well, no, because he didn't start.
Yeah, he didn't start.
You know what I'm saying?
That.
Like he didn't start.
But he closed though. If he
so right now for his career,
yeah,
he's a 21 points.
21.
11,
okay.
21 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists.
Oh yeah. That's stat. Okay. I'm thinking so. He is over 20 as for his career.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, 21.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's cold because he didn't start out like that, like you said.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying because he didn't start. He started out like he's a project. Like we're gonna bring him along slowly. Mm-hmm. So in 9 years though, that's what we're going. But then in the last, I know the last at least 4. He's been over 25 points a game.
Yeah.
And again, he's shooting more jump shots.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He's not just sticking to the post. I mean, but you can't guard him in the post either.
No. He'll be a boy. He'll be a boy.
I mean, and again, like this ain't like Shaq is one of the greats. I don't think that he's brought up in the GOAT conversation enough. But at the same time, I get it.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. Now, moving on to this other thing too, King Combs and 50. King Combs, I guess, / Meek Mill versus 50. Now, this is not going to take much long at all. This is just part of the battle overload stuff. Seemed like everybody kind of got that whole spirit of trying to go at each other. Now, but to King Combs, what you said his name was Christian?
His real name, his mama's name is Christian. I'm going to call him
Christian, okay. So, but his stage name is King Combs, and so he went at 50. He had a diss song with him as well. And of course, we know for the last couple months, actually way more than that, 50 has been going at Diddy like no other. Like he's been terrorizing him via memes, via Twitter posts, whatever else he can do. And so, and I'm guessing he's just tired of it. You know what I'm saying? His son tired of it because tired of getting hit from the back.
His son doesn't like him talking about his daddy or his stepmama.
Yeah. So I I just think this wrong on a couple fronts. For one, you don't mess with 50 in these things. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the wrong guy to try to poke the bear on with 50, especially when you trying to like he ain't even he's so petty. I think we said this before. 50 is probably he's an elite petty person. Like he
When we
was
made our petty list.
yeah, he's number one. He's number one. I think he's number one, personally.
So
I can't think of
So we made the hater list.
yeah.
Was he number one?
Maybe not then. I think I know what you're talking about, but
Yeah, because we talking about Isaiah Thomas.
top five haters.
Haters.
I don't think we put 50 in there at that time. 'Cause I think we were kind of talking about something. I mean, he might have been. I gotta
He
go
might
back
have
and watch.
been, but I'm saying
I gotta
like
go
I
back
don't
and
know
see.
if he was, because the point we was making is that like his level of I hate somebody, I'm gonna go at you.
Is that really a hater though? I don't even think of 50 as a hater. I think of 50 kind of
I
like
would think versus Ja Rule it was though,
yeah, versus Ja
because it
Rule.
wasn't
Versus
like
Ja
it's
Rule.
not like they had a recent incident. You know what I'm saying? Like the stuff they had was old stuff.
Yeah, the street stuff going on.
You know what I'm saying? They had old stuff, and so like now that I'm on, I'm gonna take this opportunity to,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, throw shots.
I agree with the Ja Rule stuff. Yeah, definitely he was hating on him.
Yeah,
Definitely, and I think it was just like with the Cowboys or with the 49ers or with me with the Eagles.
right.
Like I'm open about
No,
that.
50's only lost one time.
Who we lose to?
Nigga, Jada Kiss.
Yeah, they did.
No,
go
like
ahead.
nigga, the label called Jada and said,
Yeah, they
"Stop
did.
making these diss records. Everybody's eating off of 50's plate right now."
Forgot
Cause
about that one.
when they was with Shady Aftermath or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
all them was under Interscope.
Yeah.
Rough Riders was under Interscope. And so it's like, okay, yeah, well, y'all are on different sub labels, but the parent label, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all are all up under Interscope. So stop dissing this nigga, because, like, some of his stuff, man, he was just, man, him and the Locks, that was frying him off back to back, but that's the only one 50 lost.
Yeah, I forgot about
Because
that.
he
About
did
right.
Piggy Bang, and then Jada did the whole Champions Here mixtape series. And
I
like,
thought that was against Fat Joe, Piggy Bank. No, but he got on a lot of people too. He got
Yeah.
on Jada. Yeah, he did.
because he was on the
did.
New York song.
Yeah, he did. Yep. You're right. So yeah, with the King Kong, Meek Mill 50 stuff, and then I don't know if you saw the post that 50 put out with Meek Mill with Diddy at a party, and he was singing and was talking to him like, you know, it's like certain stuff you just don't mess with 50 on, and this wasn't even Meek Mill's fight. He just kind of jumped in, I guess, because that was his baby or something like that.
Man,
you know what
50,
I'm saying?
50 always got time.
Yeah. So
50 always got time.
he got time, and so and I like in the 50 kind of like we went to Memphis City schools growing up. You went to Raleigh, you went to
Yeah.
Craig Munt. Is that cat in the lunchroom that's be
Yeah.
checking?
Man,
you don't
man.
mess like if you want him, if you feeling froggy that day and you feeling like you can get a couple
Who
off.
was the dude at Craig Mont that you didn't check, that you knew not to check?
What's his name? One of them name was Demarius. I can't think of the other dude's name. He was like in class of 98, 99. I can't think of dude's name. But it was two that I knew like if you looked at them the wrong way. You could be going down the hallway, like you just got blinders on. You keep the vid like you don't want to look at them straight in the face. You don't want to act like you're looking at his shoes. You want to act like you're looking at his shirt or pants. Because even if you feel, hey Jamal, what you doing, man? Old big head, you know what I'm saying? Like 50 is that dude because you just don't, unless you got the time. And most people, they'll have the time for a day or two, maybe even a week. But 50 gonna go for years. And if you're not willing to go that route, like leave that man alone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like leave him alone, dog.
No, at the RE, I'll never forget that back when I was in South Memphis, when I went to Roselle. I went to Roselle with Paris London. I used to go to
Yep.
Hamilton, and
yep,
play
yep.
at the U of M.
Yep.
But he was one, you know what I'm saying? He was vicious with it. But like when I went to Raleigh, man, Raleigh, we had so many. You know, a couple of them. Pat and
Morris.
his brother, Pat
Yeah.
and Maurice.
Yeah,
Maurice
yeah,
wasn't,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Big Reese wasn't nothing nice.
Yeah, he was.
You know what I'm saying? Pat was sick with it too. Tree Ellis, Skip does Rated R.
Yeah. Skip, yeah.
Skip wasn't no joke. Terrence Irvin.
Wow.
Used to go to Breville to
Yeah.
Turk.
Terrible,
wasn't
yeah.
Man, Turk wasn't no Like they used to like, and then like sometimes even like the real them would be like, "Hey Turk, bro, checking you Turk." Like nobody said nothing about Turk, but they just wanted to see Turk
Go off.
fire somebody up. Like, and Turk
Yeah.
would come over there, and you look at him, you think like, oh, he ain't gonna. Man, Turk was firing niggas up left and right.
That's crazy. I don't even
Now
think I knew that.
the one I didn't remember his last is a dude named Ernest. I didn't know Ernest's last name, but the only person that Ernest halfway didn't check was Rampage, was Quentin Jackson.
Of course.
And he checked him one time. And Rampage was finna get ready to put him in. He was like, "Come on, bro. We both got votes. It's like we brothers. Come on, man." And then like he started laughing. And
Want to
so
do the brother route?
yeah,
Huh?
but they both had the new votes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So like, but he was one would fire you up for no reason.
Yeah.
And so 50 is on that level.
He is, man.
Man, dude, the Ernest, dude, he fired somebody up. It was raining outside, and we used to eat lunch in the middle school cafeteria.
Yeah.
And so, like, we'd have to walk from high school to the middle school cafeteria to eat lunch. So it's raining. So he's in there beating on the door for, because the doors was locked from the outside. So, like, people were standing in the door, like, pointing and laughing at him. And so Coach Wade made him open up the door. So they opened the door like, "Oh, man, we just give you a hard time, bro." And so he's shaking his jacket off. Like, "Man, appreciate that, bro, man. Good looking out. Good look." He said, "But what took you so long to open the door up?" And then, "Oh, man, no, but you saw me standing out." And he just, it's like everybody who was standing by the door. And he would be like, "Man, little pants, big shoes, big head, Eddie. Go and say something." And then, "Oh, bro, shut your little shirt." Look, and he like, go, get it off. And he just would hit them rapid fire.
Rat-a-tat-tat.
Like, again, those of you all who was in school with me, if y'all
Rat-a-tat-tat.
remember Ernest's last name, type it in the comments because he's one of the goats. One of the dudes that transferred to Craigmont, Ebony Brooks.
Ebony Brooks, yeah.
Ran track. Man, Eb wasn't no joke
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
Eb was a monster.
Yeah.
Eb was sick with it.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, that would be, he would be on that level. And to what you were talking about, like those dudes that you talking about and a couple dudes that I referred to, like your loved ones would be laughing at you too. The girl that you like, the crushes.
Your homeboy, your
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what 50 does. Like, even like your significant other, like they gonna be tripping. They might not do it in your face, maybe, but you know what I mean? Like you on social media, but they will be laughing at you and make you look a certain way that it'll make you just go hide. But at the end of the day, King Combs, he ain't got nothing to lose at this point because his dad about to probably get ran up cell block 1. So
CB4.
So he trying to fight for his dad, which I get. That's his heartstring and that's his dude. You know what I mean? So, but you should have picked somebody else.
Man, sometimes you gotta let grown men be grown men.
You do.
Sometimes you gotta be like, "Hey, pops, you got it."
You got it.
Like what did Red's dad tell Debo when Debo was like, "You want something, yo, man?" No.
No. That's exactly what that was. Now, all right, we're going to get into our sports stuff, man, because I know we all into the entertainment a lot, you know what I mean, which is, you know what I'm saying, that's one of our things, but we also got a sports bag, too, we like to get up into, and it's a couple of things I want to start with, and we ain't got to be too much long with it, but Anthony Edwards, you know what I'm saying, Anthony Edwards, he is the Minnesota Timberwolves starting shooting guard, the next potential face of the league, and what he's been doing, at least the first 2 games, actually playing right now, what he did the first 2 games of the Denver Nuggets series went off. I think he scored 40 in the first game. Maybe he scored 30-something, 20-something, 28, 29 in the second, and was looking very Jordan-esque. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of people have been saying that they remind him of Michael Jordan. Not only that, they've been also saying that he's better at 22 years old than what Michael Jordan was at 22 years old. And so I know we live in a, fast, in the moment type of, culture and stuff like that. And I'm an Anthony Edwards fan. You know what I'm saying? I think he's legit. The boy, he a bad boy. But to even compare him to Michael Jordan right now is blasphemy. Even as good and great as he is. Mm-hmm. Michael Jordan was 21 when he came into the league, averaging 28 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. I think he maybe led the league in steals, 2.7, 2.8 steals a game, shooting 53, 54% from the field, 82, 83% from the free throw line. Like
The Black Cat.
the Black Cat, like at 21, bro. And so, and then if you want to go to the next year, we know he got hurt and played maybe half the season and blah, blah, blah.
No, he only played like 18 games.
18 games. And so even then he scored he averaged probably like 23 or whatever that year, but he was pretty much hurt. But that next year, his 23.
No, I was going to say, but you got to remember the 18 game season
Yeah.
in the playoffs. What did he do versus Boston?
63.
So you
63 before you
I
put
thought,
the
I thought you was going there.
Yeah,
but
nah,
you
I forgot. Yeah, nah, you're right. So if you add that 63,
at 22,
yeah,
he was dropping 63 on Boston.
exactly. So with Anthony Edwards now, and then if you want to go to that next year when he was fully healthy, back the next year he was 23. That's the year he averaged 37. 37 at 23 years old, in the league with hand checking, in the league with all the physical play, in the league with no help, mind you. You know, Anthony Edwards actually has help at this moment. So I get where people are going. And actually, Charles Barkley said it on TNT. He was like, look, man, y'all need to pump the brakes talking about Michael Jordan. He was better than Mike. Like, it's no way. I get it. Like, he does a lot of the moves like MJ. He's athletic. He dunked on KD. He leans over to the side, got the kind of the same swag and doing all this stuff athletically.
All of us act like our fathers.
This is true. Yeah. We'll get into
y'all,
yeah.
y'all better not.
He's that.
Don't let me find out how to make gifts, because if I learn how to do that, it's over with. Like you laughing, sipping the water bottle is one, me sipping the yak,
Yeah.
fainting rag, like you turning your head, like, oh, we got the gifts on here.
Yeah. Yeah, you gonna learn how to make them, dog. You gonna learn how to make them. This how, hey, you got to. It's only right. But Anthony Edwards, dog, as great as he is no way in hell that he's right now better than what Michael Jordan was at 22. But I get the NBA. If I was the NBA, I would try to pull that narrative as well, because it would, clicks, likes, and people that were born in 2001, 2002 have no clue about Michael Jordan. So that would be the closest thing they could do. But
It's gonna keep the older fans engaged too, because that's gonna have us like, no, nigga, you got it fucked like.
Correct. So I get it. I get it. But to be real, like it's no way Anthony Edwards is near Michael Jordan, even at the age 22. As polished as he is, he has a good step back turnarounds, hit stuff off the glass from an angle. Like he has a bag right now at 22. But MJ at 22, like I said, at 21, he came into the league 28, 6 and 6, 2.4, 2.5 steals. Being the number one guy on a bad team of coke players. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was known like he was playing with some jabronis. You know what I'm saying? So,
And I was a Bulls fan when he had Dave Corzine.
And
Charles Oakley.
Theus.
Yeah,
remember Theus?
So now Theus, like...
Theus was on there too,
So, when Theus, he got traded...
from Sacramento.
When they got... to Sacramento.
To Sacramento. Yeah.
But
he was,
then the Bulls ended up getting George Gervin from San Antonio.
Yeah.
And he played his last 2 years.
Okay.
But he wasn't Iceman no more. He was like the water boy at that point.
Yeah, he was.
But,
yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to. I don't know if you got anything more with the Anthony Edwards compare. I know. Have you been hearing it?
Yeah, no,
You've been hearing
like
it.
I
Okay.
said, I'm like I got me and my documentary I'm working on, The Last Son.
Oh.
So change it to The Last Sons.
Yeah, he got to be in there.
You know what I'm saying? Jimmy Butler and
Anthony
Edwards, because like, and that they kind of got this sibling rivalry thing. If you look at them when they interact versus each other, like they kind of be going back and forth like they, big brother, little brother type situation. But
he looked just like him.
Man, they both do though.
I think Anthony Edwards look more
All
than
I'm
him.
gonna say is if both of them go bald, they both would look like Mike. They both. When Jimmy Butler fainted when they played the Lakers in the bubble, when he dropped had like a 40-point triple double and fell on the scorer's table.
Yeah, I remember.
And it was man, come on, man, if that ain't MJ.
Yeah.
But nah, man, I what I will say is, and I know Memphis people will agree, it should have been Ja. Stick to shooting jump shots and not shooting guns.
Man. Bang bang.
And again, T. Morant, the chair is always open. We need you to get on here.
Come on through.
T, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we got the yak for you.
Man, I'm saying, like, hey, we need to have T Moran on here.
Yeah. Definitely.
But now, like, Ja was in position, and I really feel like had he not gotten hurt, he came back and he was like, oh, I'm back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like niggas was feeling like, oh shoot, the Grizzlies might make the play. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We was heading there, dog. We was heading there.
And so I still feel like unless Minnesota wins the championship this year,
yeah, they're not. Yep.
Ja has a chance to still be in that conversation.
For sure.
If Minnesota gets to the finals this year,
it may be different.
Unless Ja leads the Grizzlies to like the Western Conference Finals, no matter how good he plays, it's gonna always be Anthony Edwards and Ja.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because like again, like to me, like Jason Tatum hasn't done anything to distinguish himself. Like, cause sometimes he's good. He's on it, sometimes he's not. I saw something that said, "Will y'all please stop comparing Devin Booker to Kobe?"
True.
Like, but Ant has that mentality. He got that old school mentality.
He does.
I ain't trying to team up with nobody.
Nope.
Like, whoever I think, KD my GOAT, but I'm coming for your head. Like, he got that mentality. Oh, I respect you, but I'm finna do you like Game of Thrones off with his head. Like, I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm cutting your head off.
Him and Ja got that in common.
Right, exactly.
Him and Ja got that in common. So,
and I said, I just think that Ja is more exciting overall to watch.
Yeah.
But what gives Anthony Edwards the advantage is he plays on both ends of the floor, he's a better shooter.
Yeah, he is.
I'm not going to necessarily say he's a better scorer.
Yeah.
But he's a better shooter.
He is.
So now if Ja can manage to have an equal, I would even say 60-40.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At least right now, because he can still, slash and stuff like that. If he's 60% that, 40% or 55-45, slashing and shooting, I think he'll go up to another level. But he is not too small to be a lockdown defender.
He can't.
You know what I'm saying? Because like you look at guys like Patrick Beverley. Patrick Beverley is only like same height as Ja.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Marcus Smart ain't, but Marcus Smart and Drew Holiday are 6'4".
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it ain't that much a difference. Like Chris Paul is 6 feet, and they look at him like he's a bulldog on all defensive guard. Like, you can do that.
Yeah.
If he turns into, I would even say an all defensive second team. He ain't even got to be first team.
He ain't got to be first.
If he get on the second team or honorable mention.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that would give him. Oh, but as long as Ant is playing on both ends of the floor, and if Ant makes it to the finals this year, it's gonna be hard for Ja to ascend over him.
Yeah,
because I still got Ja over like Jason Tatum and guys like that because he got that killer instinct.
He does.
He got the pulse of the young people. Yeah. The popularity, but game wise, what gives Ant the edge is he plays on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, definitely. Like I think Ja gonna come back. Because they talk about all these younger people, Anthony Edwards, SGA, obviously Jason Tatum, but because a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, Ja was the head of that line.
Yeah, he was like number 1 or number 2.
He was the head of that list, and so that's the reason they gave him the shoes, the off-brand Kyries. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much, but the Ja's cold though. Don't get me wrong, the Ja's cold.
But with his speed, his athleticism, and jumping ability, it's no reason why he should not be a better defender than what he is.
Yeah, for sure.
And then he got long arms.
Yeah, he do.
Like it's no reason why steals, block shots, or at least changing or altering shots, he should be a much better defender because he has all of the God-given tools. If he was 2 inches taller, he would be illegal.
Yeah.
He already, you know what I'm saying? He already dangerous right now. He already toxic right now.
Yeah.
But like,
if that
nigga was 2 or 3 inches tall, like, you had to put a warning label on him.
Yeah.
And so it's no reason why. And like I said, I think that's the biggest difference between. And again, when you look at Jordan's son, what do Anthony Edwards and Jimmy Butler have in common? They both play D.
Yeah.
They both can turn it on when they want to. So now Ja got that part. He can turn it on when he want to.
Yeah.
But that defense.
Yeah, that's gonna set us apart. So I'm hoping he's gonna come back on fire. Grizzlies. I like what we building. We got the ninth pick too. I don't know if you saw it in the lottery, but I think.
And then they said they thinking of Golden State. Decided, oh, like Memphis is a good.
WNBA. WNBA actually started today. Caitlin Clark was playing, I think, the Connecticut Sun. And we know whatever with that. I don't want to get into the game. I actually watched it. I can't really talk about WNBA players to that degree. I'm not that. I'm not fluid. I'm not.
MKJ will be shaking his head at you.
He's probably doing that right now, but he can come on the show and talk about it. I can't. I can speak to a couple players, you know what I'm saying, but not any right now. But the point was that the WNBA was actually featured on ESPN during the NBA playoffs today, and they got sold out. I think the Connecticut Sun, this was their first debut sellout ever, I think. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And we talked about this before with Caitlin Clark being who she's being, and the domino effect, the domino effect between what's happening in college and bringing that stuff to the WNBA. Mm-hmm. And I think that the WNBA got some momentum now. And I know you've heard also that the WNBA finally getting their private chartered flights.
Yeah, no, I did. I saw that today.
You saw that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So now when we look at it, now we looking at all this stuff coming together. We talked about this back in season 1 about as far as what the sponsorship dollars. Right. Rag, they doing it. I don't know if you've seen it. Like I'm gonna send it to you. Like
no,
you seen the underwear ads and stuff.
When you sent me that, like I looked.
Yeah.
At it and
I was reading the bottom of when you sent me the topic list. You was like the Caitlin effect.
The Caitlin effect.
So
they getting into it. You seen the underwear ads?
We need that.
They got the. It was Candace Parker, Skylar Diggins, the girl that got drafted, Cameron Brink, whatever her name is. And a couple other girls that was nice looking. Kelsey Plum.
Yes.
Plum. Yes. Yeah. She was on there.
For the Aces.
Yes. They had her on there wearing like a bra and some panties.
Yes.
Twirling the ball, doing this, doing like that, like wearing makeup.
Yes.
You feel me? Like they're getting it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because we've talked about this for maybe 2 years of why don't you have Maybelline? Why don't you have underwear, Victoria's Secrets or something like that? You know what I'm saying? Like Candace Parker, we knew who she used to date.
Right.
Just Sheldon Williams from Duke back in the day. Mm-hmm. But she wanted to play the stud. You see what I'm saying? Like after she was wearing suits and stuff to the gang, wearing a little stuff. That's whatever with that. But that's not what's appealing to the masses. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if you saw this girl that played for the Chicago Sky. She bad. I don't know her name, but she's nice. You know what I'm saying? I hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? AKA Jay Sanders. Like, she's beautiful. I don't know a girl's name, but she's light skinned. She dresses nice. I think she got a Maybelline or some thing on her Instagram where she's getting it. Like, they're getting it, Rag. They getting it.
So again, but going back now,
they getting it.
If again, women outnumber men on the planet 15-1.
Yep.
It's always been a thing that like I don't understand why.
I don't know.
Like, you got to appeal to the mass of is more women on the planet. So you can't be sitting up here arguing for equal pay and this, that, or whatever. And the same people who do what you do, that look like you, that think like you, Mazel Tov, that sit down and pee like you, they don't watch the game. Mm-hmm. But you want to get mad at me. And check this out. This is how backwards we are as human beings. When we want to reward our dogs or give our dogs to do something, we give them a treat. We make it appealing to them. We appeal to their sensibility. We want to get our kids to do something. Yeah. We incentivize it. Oh, we got this toy. We'll let you play on the game, or it might be time for it might be doom time if you don't do X, Y, Z. Let me go get my, and they hop to it. We know how to motivate and encourage them. You know what I'm saying? We want to get rewarded for the job. We work hard. We do things. We got enough sense to do that, but we don't have enough sense to say, hey, if I want to get men to watch this game, how can I appeal to their sensibilities? What do men like? Even in 2024, in the midst of cancel culture, in the midst of Me Too and all this other stuff that's going on, men still like the same stuff that we've liked for thousands of years.
How do we operate, Rag? You just said in the show many times. How do men look at the opposite sex? Like, what are we? We're
hunters.
What? Okay.
We are hunters, and we are visual.
We're visual.
So it's like you got to appeal to that sensibility. Now, if I love the game, I'm going to stay for the game.
For sure.
But I'm coming because I want to see. Right, I know, right? It's like, so I guess that would be what? So Diddy? No, I'm just playing.
Yeah,
but no,
yeah.
But no, like, that's what's going to make me want to be at the game. But what's going to keep me is the actual game.
Yep.
You know, but again, like, oh, well, you like basketball, you should just, yeah, I love basketball, but I'm not finna go watch a bunch of 5-year-olds play if mine ain't playing. It just ain't it ain't something I want to see.
Yeah. And so even with, I don't know if you saw the WNBA draft, that was probably about a month ago.
Yeah.
Like I seen,
I watched.
I seen the shift, like in the people how they're dressing. Even Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, the girl, the big girl from South Carolina.
Yeah, she was killing it, right?
You know what I mean?
The girl from Stanford.
Cameron. Whatever.
Was that Cameron? With like
Cameron, I think her name was
the
Cameron.
white chick,
The white girl.
But I was like, oh, okay, wow, I had no idea.
Yes, and that whole, because I remember watching the WNBA draft years ago, and everybody wanted to look like AI. They wanted to have the cornrows. They wanted to have a suit on. They wanted to have, you know what I mean? And so it's like, I'm glad they finally tapping in. And it seemed like the other WNBA players that I've seen, Lexi Brown, that be on the Gills Arena.
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons I watch Gills Arena.
You know? And so, like, Lexi Brown, she's getting it. Well, she always kind of been that way to me.
Yeah.
You know, kind of feminine.
Sinead and Agamakwe.
Yeah, that's she.
Oh, you know, I look, man, like, she know what she doing. She had a video on IG where she was shooting jumpers with the dress on.
Wow.
And so, like, and somebody commented, like, man, that cake just jiggling. Like, but it's like when you see it, then it's like the slow motion of her shooting the jumper with the pumps on, and she lands, and it's just like, you know what you're doing. You know exactly what you're doing, and it's working. And that is why when she's on the screen, I'm tuning in.
And it's pretty simple, because I know some women may be looking at this and may be like, you know, that's a sexist way to look at a woman, to joke the thing. But it's like, it's part of marketing. It's part of marketing.
No woman wants your man to be like, hey, you know, the only reason hey, I don't look at you sexual at all. You're a good mom. You're good with taxes. You got a 720 credit score. You're smart. And that's all that matters. And then you come in there, hey, I got this new dress. You know what? You got a 720 credit score. You're a good mom. You got a good heart. And that's all that matters. You want your man to be like, ooh, girl, you look, oh, you know what you're doing. Like, come here, girl. Like,
and you smell good.
Right. Like, I hope you don't think you're finna go to work right now. You better run out, like, I'm finna get, like, they want to hear that.
Correct.
You want your man to be attracted to you. Well, guess what? That works the same way, even if I'm not your man.
It works on the outside, too.
Look at and be amazed and in awe of you because you possess something that we don't.
That's your uniqueness. Why not tap into your uniqueness
and use it?
Yeah, because we're not, men and women, we're clearly different. I was listening to Tony Evans. It was a marriage video, whatever he was talking about. He was talking about how men, you know, we made from dirt, but women, they were formed. You know what I'm saying? They, you know, God made them out of, you know what I'm saying, from the side of a man, from the rib. They were formed. You feel what I'm saying? We were made. You know what I'm saying? The women, they were formed. Right. And so their uniqueness is their form, how they built, brick house. You know what I mean? Like, all these things are to tap into your uniqueness. What you're saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you paying for somebody college education, you be in a strip club or whatever like that, because she's you know, working with her mama gave her. You know what I'm saying? As bad as you want to say that is, she's using her uniqueness in order to get something done. Now, I don't think you should stay there, clearly, but if you need to do that, just what we had Player Tony on this before, he was a pimp, but he didn't stay in the pimping game. But at the time, he needed the money. He needed, you know what I'm saying, kind of whatever else.
Right, and as he so eloquently put it, he didn't choose it.
He was chose. He was chose. So to my point is, man, like I'm happy. It seems like the WNBA is finally actually getting it. They're using their feminine brand, and nice looking women, like in the face, like just pretty women that I ain't gonna lie, it matters. Like if I see so and so on the Instagram and I see like, oh, she played for the Chicago Sky and they about to put her on TV next week against Caitlin Clark.
You're gonna
watch.
I mean, I don't get how
It's simple.
like, oh, y'all are sexist, y'all misogynistic, like you just said. Like, do you know how many women I done put through college? How am I saying I support women?
Yeah.
I was supporting you with them hard earned ones and then like years ago when I was working the two job when I was at FedEx and St. Jude and I was making a nice little piece of change, like my dumb butt, I wasn't throwing ones, I'm in there throwing fives.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like they knew me when I came through the door. I was at all of, and this is when Memphis Johnson was like,
yeah,
when people from out of town used to come to Memphis because like anything went. You know what I'm saying?
That sound like the lace.
Right. But but it wasn't just the lace though.
It wasn't
just the lace.
But yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
man, it was the Gold Club. It was Pure Club. Passion. It was what's the joint they shut down over there by Jack Pirtles? Mount Moriah.
I don't know if I went to that one.
Platinum Plus.
Was that one? Okay, Platinum
Yeah,
Plus.
it was right over, like when you get off the expressway on Mount Moriah.
Right.
Like, man, I used to be at all of them. When they opened up the Platinum Road, like I was in all of them.
Yeah.
And I was, so again, I supported it. Yeah. I support it now, but again, it's just like if I don't know everybody, because I can't watch all the games. So, and I'm not just watching it because it's basketball. So, like if I watched Maya Moore in college, I'm going to watch Minnesota. Yeah. When Minnesota's playing, because I know Maya Moore plays for Minnesota. Well, I watch Candace Parker at Tennessee. Like, I'm going to watch her when she played for the Sparks, and then to Chicago, then to Vegas. Watched Asia Wilson. I watch Asia Wilson now. Yeah. Skylar Diggins when she played at Notre Dame. Like, certain people I'm going to keep up, but I'm not watching all of you because I don't know all of you. So unless I have a reason outside of me seeing you when you played in college, if I don't have another reason, I'm not just going to be like, oh, some random person that I don't know is playing. Like with my NBA teams, it's not only my team that I like to watch, which the two that I care about are the Bulls and the Grizzlies. Well, that's 82 games, or at least 41 of both of them I'm going to get to watch. Mm-hmm. But then sometimes, because I've seen Jason Tatum when the Bulls play Boston 4 times, okay, well, you know what, let me see what Jason Tatum doing tonight. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, the Grizzlies play Phoenix 4 times. Oh, well, you know what? I've seen Devin Booker. Let me see what he's doing tonight. Let me see what Anthony Edwards doing tonight. Because the Grizzlies play them 4 times. Mm-hmm. So I get to see that matchup. So it's a more of an investment for me as opposed to, again, okay, I know Asia Wilson. I know Maya Moore. I know Candace Parker. I know Skylar Diggins. I know Kelsey. But Kelsey Plum and Asia Wilson play on the same team. Yeah. You know, like I know Lexi Brown, but last season she didn't play because she had like a concussion or something like that.
Who she play for?
She was playing for Chicago.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But she was saying I think she's on a different team.
Different team, okay.
But she had a concussion last year.
Yeah, because she didn't play last year.
Right, she didn't play. She sat out last year because she was in concussion protocol. Yeah. And so, like, you know what I'm saying? So, again, it's like, okay, this is somebody I followed, you know, when she was in college and stuff like that. But you've been sick. You got hurt. Then you set out a year, so like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so again, to your point, they've been making it more appealing. They need to keep up the good work. Going to the Caitlin Clark effect, let's not act like it's not a thing. Like when basketball turned around in the late 70s, early 80s, they were saying it was too black, it was too much drugs, and then you had the white Larry Bird, the black Magic Johnson. You had the blue collar Boston Celtics, which is another way of saying they were mostly hardworking, lunch pail white guys. I mean, there was a few black guys on the team, but for the most, I mean, come on, they had a dude named Cornbread on the team, right?
Cornbread.
But for the most part, it's a bunch of lunch pail, hard hat white guys and their few black coworkers, and then you had the flashy party black dudes and the one cool white guy that was a pimp on the team, and that was the good versus evil, black versus white thing. Let's not act like that don't exist. The highest grossing fight in boxing ever was Larry Holmes versus Cooney. Larry Holmes was black. Cooney was a white guy. Muhammad Ali versus Chuck Webner got a movie made about it. We watched it. It won an Oscar. Rocky. That was actually about Muhammad Ali versus Chuck Webner. And Chuck Webner was the hard-working, blue-collar white guy, and Muhammad Ali was Apollo Creed, the flashy, trash-talking, handsome black guy that nobody could beat. Like, let's not act like it's a thing. It's a reason why we liked Rocky. It was the black guy versus the white guy. White men can't jump. Great comedy movie, not the remake. The great comedy movie. You know what I'm saying? Which made Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson make 3 or 4 more movies after that because
they work together. Good.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not act like that's not a thing. So for us to say that Caitlin Clark ain't skilled or she's not overrated, she's not she's definitely skilled. But at the same time, let's also not act like she's not getting some accolade because if Caitlin Clark was a black chick, I can't say that they would be getting the private jets. Yeah. I can't say that like these endorsements, I can't say that because they made a big fuss about Ice Cube offering her the $5 million. And when they tallied it up, they was like, she can play her whole career and would not make, you know what I'm saying, like the 3 years, $5 million each year, she would have made $15 million. She ain't gonna make $15 million her whole WNBA career from the WNBA, at least not as presently constructed.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So now they're trying to do more stuff, but again, make it appealing, make it to where now we want to watch it, and it looks like it's our idea. If you ever want to get a man to do something, make him think that it's his idea.
Man, what?
We'll do whatever you want us to do.
Feed the ego. Ain't nothing wrong with feeding the ego.
At all.
Ain't nothing wrong with feeding the ego. So, and to your point, I want to put an example out there, just like they had a scam going on with Vivid, the security, around here in the neighborhood. They put a nice face, nice, good-looking young lady out there, come to your porch, get your information, and they take your stuff. So, just as in scamming, they knew to get a pretty face, act for the man of the house, come out on the porch, had to, send the stuff on, get your information, bam, scam.
And it probably was form fitting.
Yes.
Little décolletage showing.
She came to outdoor.
Because not the cleavage, like the meat.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? The décolletage. She had the meat out.
Yeah. Exactly. So even with that, you have to do what you need to do within the parameters, which like I said, women are unique in form, in the way they act, and how they look. You need to capitalize on that in order, if you want to get the dollars that you want to have, in order for you to make. Some of the NWN players, I make more money than them. You know what I'm saying? Just off of what, you know what I'm saying, they put out there on the internet. Just, we talking about veteran WNBA players, but. And people I know, especially MKJ, was messed up about Caitlin Clark getting a shoe before Asia Wilson and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we can, be messed up about it. But white is right in America here, man. Like, this just, you always say you got the complexion for the protection.
For the collection.
You know what I'm saying? For the collection.
That's the great power movie to say.
So, look, if it takes Caitlin Clark in order for y'all to get the bag, and I saw a little bit of the game today. Now, I don't know if it's going to always flow. I think she ended up with 20 points today, Caitlin Clark. But they set her half of the first quarter, her coach, whoever it was. If you want to milk this, I don't care. She needs to be jacking this things up. She need to be jacking up.
As Stephen A. would say,
box office.
Yes, she needs to be jacking up 15 to 20 shots a game. Because nobody come to see Caitlin Clark sit on the bench. I'm sorry. If you're getting sold out crowds, you're getting sold out arenas and stuff around here, I don't know how many minutes in a WNBA game. If it's 40, she might need to play 35. You know what I'm saying? Like, just cause to your point, we were talking about Larry Bird coming in, Magic Johnson. Did they sit on the bench?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They milked whatever they had out of it, and that got people interested. Don't be putting Caitlin Clark on no bench just because, she got to earn her way through. She got to, I get it, but you also trying to build a brand and build a business. So I think I heard Gil say something about this too. I think Gil was talking about like, man, look, she better be jacking them shots up like she Steph. You better have the green light, you know. I agree because not only with the brand stuff, with the feminine stuff, that's cool. But then also you got to have a product on the floor that people actually want to see. Because once I see my favorite player, the girl I saw on Instagram, and I see her face and I see her in her shorts running up and down a couple times, okay, I'm going to flip the channel. I done, you know what I'm saying? I maybe saw, you know what I'm saying, enough. But if you have somebody like Caitlin Clark actually, you know what I'm saying, taking over, shooting the shots, whether she making or miss them, you will tune in to see her either fail or try to be a success. You know what I'm saying? So
I know that was the last topic. So I need you to put your preacher man hat on.
what you got?
So I had a conversation with a homegirl of mine, and known her for years, and so she's somebody that's in ministry. And so she was like, she was starting back dating again, and she was like, I don't understand what the problem is, you know, with this guy I've been talking to, because like we've been talking on the phone a lot, you know, and he said, like, I asked him, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, like, you know, how do you feel about me? He's like a 7. Like, so we got to see each other face to face, you know, went out, hung out. So afterwards, he was still like, it's a 7. I said, well, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I said, there's only 2 reasons why you at a 7. I said, number 1, I said, he may legit just be needing to get to know you and everything like that, and it ain't just been enough time and everything. I said, the only other reason, I said, I hate to tell you, and I said, obviously you don't be tuned into my podcast that me and JB be doing. I was like, but I was like, I say all the time, I said, like, men, we will wait, you know, you 25, 28, like, oh, we'll run around, we'll jump through hoops, we'll wait. Like, if you get 35, 40, it like, and we recently said this when Lex was on here, like, man, she got to roll them old ass draws down.
Yeah.
And so, like, as we were, you know, continuing conversing, you know, she was telling me some stuff about the guy, and I was like, okay, well, it's obviously y'all in 2 different levels. And he said, oh, well, you know, you just too spiritual for me. Like, I love it about you, but I wish you wasn't so spiritual. I said, you know what the translation is? I wish you rolled them old ass draws down. So, like, from a ministry standpoint, because again, we dealing with it from that aspect. Right. Like, I was dealing with it from just the natural aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think? What would your advice be to, and especially like women, because they have the harder time. Like, what would your advice be to somebody you trying to date, but you trying to respect your walk and respect your calling?
I mean, if you're trying to respect your calling in ministry and date, especially nowadays, I mean, 9 times out of 10, most dudes gonna tell on themselves in the first couple of dates. If you have any type of discernment about anything, you gonna know whether you need to continue down that path or not. But if you into that and you trying to, you know, stay clear, I would definitely let somebody know up front about what that is and what they own, because especially women, if you don't put that out there in the beginning as far as where you are at spiritually or even celibacy wise and stuff like that, if you don't, you pretty much opening the door for the dude to try you.
Right.
And most of the time with women, I hate to say it, I've been there before. On the other side, obviously I'm a man, but women that say about what they not gonna do, what they wouldn't do, you know what I'm saying? But you don't set a parameter, but just saying like, you know, well, I don't, you know, I'm trying not to do this, or I won't do this or do that. You know, you gotta, because women are emotional.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if a man tap into that emotion, whatever she said over here, you know what I'm saying, is, you know, it's always a what if, or, you know what I'm saying, stuff can happen. You know what I mean? So I would definitely be like, you got to set a hard boundary as a woman, and then the man, if he's respectable and he's, you know, for you, he would he'll respect that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I would say.
What I had said, do you think that it's unreasonable, like just like it would be unreasonable for me, like let's just say, oh, I'm in the ministry or whatever, and I'm waiting till I get married. Just like it would be unreasonable for somebody to expect me to violate where I am, do you think it'd be unreasonable for me to put that on somebody else if they haven't already put that on themselves?
You talking about like if you were dating as a man and you would put that on
Right.
a
Like
woman?
I'm the passion of Christ. I'm waiting till I get married, and you got to do it too.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm on. Do you think that it's unfair if they haven't already decided that for themselves?
No, I don't think that's unfair. If that's what you looking for, personally, if I'm a man, if I'm this what I'm on, like you ain't got to be on it,
Right.
But
no, what I mean is like you got to be on it because I'm on it. Now, if you don't want to talk to them because they don't want to be on it, it's different. But for me to be like, this is the way you got to be because this is where I'm at, do you think that's unreasonable? That's what I mean.
Oh, yeah, that would definitely be unreasonable. You can't tell nobody what they need to be on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As far as if that's what you own, like that's fine, but you know, they got to make their own decision if they want to be on that. You know what I'm saying? Like I would just present like this is what I'm trying, this is my vision, this is what I want to do with my walk. And so, but to tell somebody, hey man, if you want to be with me, this is what you got to be, like that's, I mean, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that per se if a woman did it. If a woman said that, because I'm just saying, as a man, if a man did it, you kind of look like an Ike a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm on it. You got, but if a woman be like, look, you know, hey, this is what I'm on. I'm not having sex. I'm celibate. Da 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 da. If you want to continue to date me or something like that, if you're not on that, you know, I don't want to be around you and be with you no more. You know, I think it's more reasonable for a woman to say it, because if a man say it, you know, it'll look very sexist or whatever else like that. So you can do it, but you probably don't want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, like, I guess, so would you say that it's probably best, especially if you're in that field, to look for someone or pay attention to those people who are interested in you that are aligned the same way that you are?
Definitely. You definitely need somebody that's more aligned with you. Like, and I ain't gonna lie, it's tougher for some women because we living in a more aggressive era. You know what I'm saying? So a woman may be feeling a dude, but then you got a lot of cornball dudes that didn't grow up how we grew up, and so they kind of in social media, and so they don't necessarily know how to talk to a woman. So they used to texting, DMing all the time, and so some women that's trying to give a point across, they ain't getting it, and so some of them may feel like they have to be like more aggressive, like nigga, like no, nigga, I'm feeling you. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta kind of just, this is what I would say: put yourself out there as a woman. Bring the vibes that you want to come back to you. You know what I'm saying? If you want to, you know, dress a certain way, you know, that's what you pretty much gonna get back.
Right.
You know what I mean? So pretty simple, but I think definitely you should present yourself. But like I do think it's hard because some women I've talked to, it's like, you know, some they put out hints, but the dudes seem to don't get it, and so and that can be tough. And so it's like what you got to do other than to be like put a DM here or whatever else there, and then a dude on the other hand, a dude may feel like, dang, I don't want her to feel like I'm trying to holler at you. Like you probably got 15 dudes that's trying to holler at you. So if I, you know what I'm saying? So
it's much harder for us.
yeah. So it's a slippery slope. But as a woman, if you really trying to live that life, like we had Misty on here, you know, I think she dating and stuff. I think she's single. So it's just like, if you present yourself correctly and you cute, you know, I think you're going to have enough dudes hollering at you to sift through to see if that's what you kind of want to do. So,
yeah, I mean, like, I guess, you know, my suggestion would be, and I had said this to her, like, you can't be on no, well, this is what I want, but he got to have this type of swag or he got to look. Because sometimes I said, because really the stuff that the superficial stuff, swag can be cultivated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you got if your big brothers, you may not know how to fight. If you hang out with your big brothers long enough who know how to fight, you gonna pick up something. You gonna learn how to pick up a chair or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna know how to drop a good elbow or give a good kick. Like if I'm hanging out with my friends, it's always ain't I fresh? Like I'm gonna eventually, like I'm not finna be wearing a Carlton outfit.
Yeah.
I'm finna try to get on with everybody else on. Like because if I'm hanging around you, like we develop that type stuff through osmosis. If all y'all going to the gym, when y'all going to get, I'm gonna work out with y'all.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I will also say too that I learned this as I found with my wife, even with Rachel. Like the more that you get into the word, the more that you know what I'm saying, have your walk, the more what you used to like may change. Like I used to like the certain type of women at TSU and kind of who I used to date and their behavior and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's why you laugh. I know.
But the more I got into the word, the more I was, trying to live, be about my walk. You know what I'm saying? Like my desires changed to a degree. You know what I'm saying? So now
certain stuff became more appealing.
Certain stuff became way more appealing. So I wasn't just about the feistiness and this and that, like what the woman may say, the swag, or he may have the fresh haircut and stuff like that. Like, okay, you want the dude to be presentable, but
we always got the fresh haircut.
You know what I'm saying? Literally bald. You know what I mean? So the more you get into the word, the more that your relationship builds with Holy Spirit and listen to Him and getting that discernment. Your what you say about the swag stuff probably is not gonna mean as much. So if a woman tells me that about the swag and stuff like that, that's just like, that's not really telling me you like for real about that walk, because you not really, you shouldn't look at that, because honestly once you get more in Him, it will be swag, but it'll just be a different swag that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a swag that the culture is about.
Right.
It'll be a swag about, I like the way he treats his mama. Oh, I like the way that he take care of his niece or his kids or something like that.
Right.
It's not gonna be like, I like the way he walk. You know what I'm saying? Or the way he talk, he just sounds so. Like the way you talk about the swag will just be on a different level.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It won't just be the swag like the culture sees as far as the trends and the stuff like that. It'll be more like, or say like a godly swag. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, he's he seems like a solid dude. You know what I'm saying? He seems that he'll take care of me and protect me, And honestly, those dudes at this point, if you're thinking about that, may be a lame dude.
Right.
In your mind frame right now.
Mm-hmm.
The swag dude you talking about that you like in your mind frame now, you probably looking for what you would call at this moment a lame dude.
Mm-hmm.
But you just probably not open to that right now.
I mean, but when you look at scripture though, I think, like, look at David.
Mm-hmm.
David was looked at as, he was the runt.
Yeah.
He was described as ruddy, which means like you kind of dusty, you dirty, you plain, you homely, you know what I'm saying? You out there with the sheep. His brothers, they come in, they yoke, you know what I'm saying? They finna go be soldiers. Like, oh, surely one of these 7 is gonna be the next king. It's like, no, the runt. You know what I'm saying? Like Jesus could have picked anybody.
The least likely.
Jesus picked a bunch of hood niggas. Like he didn't get the scholars and he got a bunch of dudes that was hard working, grimy, ready to cut ears off and pull knives on people. Like even Jesus himself, that was like, hold up, who is it? Ain't he the carpenter? Ain't he the carpenter's son? Like they didn't look at him as this scholar.
And even when you look at it, you look at even scripture, I think it is in Isaiah, Jesus was not fine. Jesus was to a lot of women probably would have been ugly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think
or
it was
just regular.
He was just regular. It wasn't nothing
special
standing out about him. You know what I'm saying? So just like with a lot of women, like, oh, I don't like, he too short. You know what I'm saying? I want my dude to be at least 6 feet, stuff like that. Like, if you look at those characteristics to that, you're searching, you're probably gonna end up being with somebody you don't need to be with.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say, like, the one person in the Bible that was what everybody wanted. He was tall, he was handsome. It was King Saul.
Yep.
And you see how that worked out for him.
Yeah.
And if you remember, you knew it was tall because it said he was trying to hide.
Yeah,
and his stature was so big, like he's trying to hide behind this thing. You could still see him.
Yeah.
Like trying to, be bent over behind this thing, and you could still see his frame because he was a tall guy. He was a handsome guy. Like women used to sing his praises, and he got jealous of Dave because he's like, "What this ruddy, dusty, nothing?" And they singing his praises, and you got me in all my glory, and you're ignoring me for this nut. Like, how am I losing to this guy?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why he felt the type of way. But again, he was the one that you the people's choice, but had God allowed him to reign in Israel for the duration of his life, he was going to take Israel down through there because, you know what I'm saying, he wasn't that guy, even though he might have looked like that guy. He had the swag, he had the height, he had the look,
all the features.
but you don't have what's in here.
Yeah.
And like I said, when you look at the people that like throughout Scripture that God selected, whether that's from Jesus to David to who was it, Jeremiah? Like, I don't know what to say. I can't talk. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm gonna put a burning coal in your mouth. You know, like Moses, I stutter. Like, why you picking me? I stutter.
Yeah.
And now I'm 80. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I'm gonna do now? Yep. It's like, no, it's always the most unlikely choice. That is what God takes the nothing. Even when you look at when Abraham and Lot was choosing to go their own way. It said Lot looked and saw, oh man, the land looks good. It's thriving over there. I'm going over there. And it said Abraham looked and it's like, this is nothing. But okay, and then they're still fighting over that land today. Mm-hmm. That is what the Muslims and the quote unquote Israelites are fighting over today. Mm-hmm. But that was nothing. But now it's the most fertile land. It's the most. But at the time, it was looked at like it was nothing.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, you let me tap into that with that. Yeah, you gotta send that whoever you were talking to then.
Well, no, I mean, I know, you good with it. But like I said, you could actually put that on the Preacher Man show.
I know, right?
I could like, chop that up. Whole little mini PM episode.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It really could. Yeah, I actually got to get you on there anyway.
Hey, that's PM after dark.
Yeah. We gonna do that. But y'all, until next time, continue with that executive mindset.
And most definitely keep it presidential.
Salute.
Arrivederci. Bow.